friend of the family. And of course, we got Chris all through the show talking, helping out, and also Tyler, her widower. And now we are going to be talking to Miss Vanessa. Hi, Vanessa.
Hi.
Hey, Vanessa.
I just wanted to, thank you, first of all, for having me, and also thank you, Show, so much for doing this and showing Jamie this great platform, allowing us to share her music and her stories. And it's so important that we get her legacy continuing on. So thank you.
You're very welcome. So, when did you first meet Jamie?
I was 14 years old, and this was in like 2001, and it was my first time at Camp Discovery in Minnesota, and right off the lake is Camp Knutson. The American Academy of Dermatology, they run the Camp Discoveries, and there's multiple camps, but we both met at teen camp. And Jamie was my camp counselor, and I was a camper still because it was for teens. So, and Jamie's 9 years older than me, so she was my counselor, and then over the years we just kept in touch, and we would see each other every year that I would go to teen camp. And she was just always an amazing mentor and sister to me. And she was just like such an inspiration. But I remember the first time I met her, I noticed her hands and the way they were fused and stuff, but I was just so amazed on how she could just do whatever she wanted. Like, she still drew or painted or whatever. Like, she didn't let anything stop her. And going to camp, it's the first time that I had ever met anyone with EB. I had gone to an EB conference once before, and so besides that, I had not really ever been exposed to other people. So to meet Jamie, I got to see someone who was in some ways better off than me, and then in other ways worse than me. And like, it was so inspiring just to see like how she could be so positive. And then when I heard her sing, I was just blown away. I've always had a really deep passion for music, and really believed in music therapy, and I grew up with choir and band and everything, but like I never took it as far as Jamie. I didn't have that confidence in myself, and Jamie, that was like one of the biggest things that she taught me, was to be confident. And like, there was nothing that, Jamie, if she had a passion about it, she never second guessed, like, oh, can I do that? Like, she never thought about it. She just went after it, and that's what I loved about her.
Fantastic. And so, was that your learning experience from her, is never giving up?
Yeah, definitely never giving up. So she was my counselor a couple times when I was a teenager, and then later I went to go live with her in 2008. And that's when she was starting off the nonprofit. And a bunch of us were friends, Novelette, Jamie, Christina Perez, me, Jessica Simpson, and all of us kind of were friends, and we just kept in contact over the years. And then Jamie was like, we need to not just have all these ideas, but we need a way to make them a reality. So she was so smart about putting everything in motion and taking that leap. And when I went to go live with her, I was struggling in my early 20s, and just like, in college, but unaware of what my life could be or the potential I could have. And living with her just opened up my eyes and like really let me see not only like her musical side, but also like, everything that she could do independently. And so when I lived with her in 2008, she started the nonprofit, and then I became the secretary, and I helped her do a lot of fundraising. And then over the years, I just continued with the fundraising. It was something that we were all really passionate about. And I've always been so just in awe with her, and like how much she fought for all of us, not only to just follow our dreams, but to be independent. A lot of the times with ED, you're so physically challenged with things that you wouldn't even think of, like simple things like brushing your teeth can cause blistering, or wearing clothes or whatever. And like Jamie, she helped me learn how to just tackle things that I didn't think about, like living in a dorm. I never thought I could do that. And when I went to go live with Jamie, she taught me, she showed me and taught me both how to cook. And before that I was so nervous, oh, am I going to burn myself, or am I going to get blisters from this and stuff like that. And just sharing, I spent 4 months with her. The other thing I loved about Jamie too was she never ever, she's Mormon, but she never pushed the LDS church on me. She just let me come upon it as time progressed, as I lived with her. She never made that the main focus. Our main focus was always our relationship with each other, our friendship, and our sisterhood. And she gave me so much. One time she was planning a trip for the Have a Heart for EB in Disney World, and Lorian, her best friend, couldn't make it, and she had a hotel that she was supposed to share with her and a plane ticket. And since Lorian was really sick and couldn't go, she offered me to go. And this was before I went to go live with her, so we would still write to each other here and there or call, but we weren't as close at that moment. And that's kind of where our relationship became closer, because we spent time together both at Disney World, and I met Taylor, and then later when I went to go live with her, she opened up her home, not just, gave me a room, but she gave me a room and, had it all set up so when I came, it was it had such a cute comforter set and bookshelves for, books or medical supplies. She had everything planned out because she knew what I needed. She understood what my needs were as a girl, but also as an EB person.
Mm-hmm.
So,
now you started an organization with Jamie, correct? A donation, or they call it United Survival of EB. Sorry.
Yes, it's United Survivors with EB. Our website is www.ebsurvivors.org. You can also find us on Facebook. In the next couple of months, me and some of my other board members will be updating the website. So Monty will be helping me with the website. Brennan is currently our website designer, and so together we're going to be working as a team to revamp everything. So it will change, but we're still going to have a lot of Jamie's information up there, like the story between her and Taylor that's on our website right now, and we want to feature her music and her art and everything. And so that's just something to keep an eye out. But yeah, Jamie started it. If you don't know about SEB, it's made by people with EB for people with EB, and we just want to help those with EB become more self-reliant and independent. For a lot of people who, I'm sure you already know, but I'm just going to reiterate some of this. People who have EB, most of us don't make it to adulthood. It's just really big struggle, challenge between constant breakdown of the skin, constant skin infections, and then the second thing, if it's not skin infections, kidney failure due to the skin infections, and the medications, constant antibiotics, constant pain medicines, depending on if you decide to do the pain medicines, just over time, your kidneys start failing. And then if it's not kidney failure, then it's skin cancer, which is what Jamie battled for over 10 years. And one of the other cool things that I really loved about Jamie was I got to, in that time that I lived with her, I got to go to the U of U for some of her cancer treatments. And it was just really cool because I knew I got to look at her bandages and see her getting rebandaged and everything, but I also got to see what the cancer treatment looked like and what the options were. And knock on wood, I'm 29 and I have yet had skin cancer, but at least because of Jamie, now I know what to look for. Now I know my options and what to do. And like I saw her, get skin removed where the skin cancer was, and I saw her get rebandaged and, all of that. And she did it with such grace and beauty that it just, when I finally get to that point in my life when I have to face it, I will be so much more, ready and brave because I saw how she handled it. And then I'm like, okay, well, if Jamie can handle it, I too can handle this.
That's a good positive to look at it.
Yeah, definitely. It was funny one time when I went with her for a skin biopsy. She joked with me because they did the biopsy, they numb her skin, and then they have to slice the top layer to remove the cancer. And then we went into the other room where the doctors were, and they let us go back there and, look at her skin under the telescope. And it was the coolest thing I ever experienced because I was just like, wow, not only did I get to see what EB skin looked like, there's a graph on any EB website you go to, and it shows what it looks like, but when you actually look at it in the telescope, that's what it looks like. And, I don't know, when you grow up and you see this graph your whole life, you think it's it's just like a graph. It doesn't, it's just to illustrate what it probably looks like, but when you look in the telescope, it actually literally looks like that. So I thought that was interesting, and then I could see the areas where the skin cancer was. There's actually bondage. There's bonding from the top layer to the bottom layer, where our skin, we normally don't have that collagen to glue the top layer to the bottom layer. But when you have skin cancer, it's this weird thing that happens that the top layer does bond down to the bottom layer, but it's wrong because it's not good cells. It's cells that are killing you. But it's weird that it somehow can correct your skin, but not in a good way. But yeah, it was just amazing, to know she battled cancer for over 10 years, and she did it constantly. It was always, most of the time it was on her arms, and then later on it ended up being, in other parts of her body. But, most of the time when we spent time together, I never was aware that she was in pain. We would laugh and talk, and we would watch American Idol together, and then when it wasn't American Idol with her, You Think You Can Dance, and when I lived with her, I went to go see her dentist. The other thing that is really difficult is to find doctors who are willing to work on you with such a rare condition. They're so afraid of a lawsuit, or also afraid that they're going to hurt you because they don't have the experience. So when I went to live with her, I had the opportunity of seeing her dentist. And Jamie, I remember when I met her at camp, the two things I remember was that she had the most beautiful, beautiful, dark, luscious brown hair, but then she also had braces. And I was like, how can you have braces? Isn't that going to hurt you? Isn't that going to blister you? But, Jamie, she just found a really good dentist, Dr. Taylor, who was able to work on her and later worked on me. And so I was also grateful for that. She not only opened up her home to me, but she also gave me an opportunity to get the care that I needed, which I couldn't find when I was living in Pennsylvania and I was starting to have dental issues. I had one dentist tell me, at 20 years old, you should have all your teeth removed because eventually they're going to rot and fall out. And I'm like, I'm going to be 21. Who wants to completely remove their teeth because one day they'll fall out? I don't know. It's just crazy thinking. And she, Jamie's like, that's crazy. I've had braces and I've had dental work. You should just come live with me for a little bit. And this way, I could help her with driving to different places that she needed to get paperwork done for us